Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to our 30 days of seated activities. So I'm going to be doing every fifth day a review of the letters from the week before. Okay, so I'll be doing it seated, but let me just show you the different activities we'll be doing, and then I'll jump in the chair, go over to the chair and show you the activities. So remember, just like our 30 days of OT with Dan, these are just educational suggestions, not professional medical advice, okay? Just as a way to have different seated self-regulation, movement, exercise activities that you can do while sitting in a chair. So meant for parents and students, families to do together, just so that we can practice and learn these different skills and strategies and see if we can incorporate them into the routine. So especially if we're not moving around a lot, especially if we are not able to get outside too much, it's good to have different exercises, movements, activities in the tool belt of things that we can do throughout the day, just to have different ways of movement, getting our energy out, exercising. So that's how it becomes our self-regulation, because we are giving ourselves healthy outlets of energy and movement and exercise, okay, which is good for our whole body. So remember, you can follow along. You can have your notebook where you are writing the letters and writing the words as well. Or if you need, you can use a highlighter, and a parent or family member, a teacher can use the highlighter to make our letters. And maybe we're only making just our uppercase letters. Maybe we're doing uppercase and lowercase, or maybe we're writing our words as well. You can do your words in uppercase or lowercase, or a combination of both like I did here. All right, so our first activity is for our letter A, and it's airplane and arrow. Okay, so in our chair, our first one is our airplane stretch. Okay, so for airplane stretch, we have different stretches that we can do. Our first one for airplane is our letter Y. Okay, so we want to make sure we're sitting up nice and straight. Remember, please be careful with everything that you're doing. Since I can't see what anyone is doing, please make sure that our family members are watching. If we have any pain, then we don't want to do it. Everything should be pain-free. So knowing your own body, okay, if you need to consult with your doctor, primary care physician, healthcare provider before starting, please do so. So just some educational activities, okay? So our airplane stretch, letter A, airplane stretch. So what we do for airplane is we can do a letter Y airplane stretch, where we have both of our arms up like this, okay? Our letter Y stretch, we stretch all the way up to our Y, and we bring our arms down, okay? Then we have our letter T. So our arms are straight, and we stretch open to a T, okay? So you can keep your face looking forward, your gaze forward. We're doing our letter T, and we come back in, okay? Then we have our football field, right? Our football, what is it? Our pylon? The pylon? Our pylon stretch, right? Where it's just like that T, but our arms are bent in at our elbows. Okay? Then we have our cross arm airplane. So just sitting up nice and tall. And we bring our hands down. And our last one is our letter I. So our arms together. We have our letter I stretch. And we put them down, okay? If we try to put all of those together, we can start at our Y. Then we can go in and out to our T. Bring our arms in for our football field, right? American football, pylon, okay? Then we cross our arms in, and we bring them up for our I. Okay, So we'll try it one more time. It's a nice way to get some circulation, some stretch going into the whole upper body, into our arms, into our shoulders. I like to come in between every stretch as like a little reset because our muscles might be working to get our, arm in a certain way. And then once we switch to a different position, if the muscles aren't able to quite switch, different muscles might start working. So it's just a nice little reset. So we'll try it one more time. So we start in our Y. Then we come back and out for a T. Then we come back and we go to our football field, our pylon. Then we come back and we squeeze it in real tight. And we come up for our I. And we bring it down. Okay, so our letter A, airplane stretch. A, airplane. Okay, so you can check off airplane. Remember, you can always write these along with me. Use your finger to trace. Okay, next is arrow. Okay, so for arrow, we need to draw an arrow. So if we have another piece of paper, here I have my Sharpie. You can use your pencil. Arrow is an exercise. It's a game where we have an arrow, and that arrow tells us how we need to move. I'll go a little lower so you can see. Okay, this arrow tells us how to move. So with this arrow, it's a game for 2 people or multiple people, families, friends, siblings. So one person has the arrow, and then you turn the arrow. Depending what you do with the arrow, we have to either reach in that direction, okay, any kind of stretch, either overhead or to the side. Or to the side, okay, or down is touch the ground. Okay, be careful with this, right? If it's not safe to bend over and touch the ground, if it's not so easy to control our abdominal muscles to hold us, to bring us down, or to bring us back up, then we can even just reach our arms down or just put our arms on our legs. Okay, so we can do something like this. 1-step direction follow, okay, by showing just one direction. One direction. Okay, so move along with my arrows. Direction following. 1, 2. Okay, or you can do multiple steps. So maybe I'm going to say, so the first one I say, reach up. Goes to your side. Reach down. Multiple steps would be up, side. Your turn. Or your turn. Okay, 3 steps. Maybe you're doing 4 steps. Or what about 5? Okay, so you can either go step by step with the arrow, or you can do multiple step directions. The arrow is just a way to get some stretching and exercise in. Our arrow stretches. Okay, so you can cross off the ones that we've done so far. So we have our letter A, airplane, check, arrow, check. Okay. Using our fingers, let's turn the page. Letter B. So remember, you can draw this on your paper, trace it with your finger, trace it in the air. Okay, our letter B. B is 2 breathings, our balloon breath and our bumblebee breath. So for our balloon breath, what we want to do is sit up nice and tall, And imagine that we have a balloon in our belly. Okay, so you can have your hands on your belly. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna breathe in real deep, focusing on that balloon. We could even look at our belly, and when we breathe in, we wanna see that balloon fill up with air. So we look at our belly, we breathe in through our nose, watch that balloon get big, and then when we blow out, again, coming from our balloon, we want to deflate the balloon. Right? So we don't need it to move from up here. We want to focus on our balloon for our balloon breathing. So again, breathe in, fill up the balloon. And breathe out, deflate the balloon. Okay, one more. We can even fill our balloon so big that it ends up filling up our chest, as long as we start with our balloon. So it would look like this. Fill up the balloon, breathe in. And blow it all out. Deflate the balloon. Okay, so it ends up being like this. All right, that is our letter B, balloon breathing. That balloon breathing is a really good way to help us to feel calm, help us to focus on our breathing, right? I have some videos talking about breathing. So when we focus on our breathing, we're using different parts of our brain than when we're just breathing as an instinct, breathing as our response, reaction to life. So when we actually focus and think about our breathing, we use a different part of our brain, and that makes our breathing start to connect to the parts of our brain that are responsible for decision making, judgment, problem solving, right? So we start to include that into our breathing. So we're able to bring that in to our awareness, bring it into our body. So it helps us to focus. And remember, these could feel different for everyone. And with all of these activities, it's just to try these different activities, but they can feel different for everyone. Okay, B, balloon. And our next B is bumblebee. So our bumblebee makes a sound like this. Bzzz. If we do it with our mouth closed, it might sound like a humming sound, like we're humming the letter M. Our bumblebee breathing, we breathe in through the nose. And when we exhale, it's our mouth closed, humming that letter M. So see how that feels. Might feel a little bit tickly or vibrating, okay? But that vibrating feeling is something that can make us tune in to the feeling of the vibration and therefore not pay attention to anything else. So if we try it again. Our bumblebee breathing, or we can do it closing our ears. So try it again. This time we're going to cover our ears. Okay, and you can do it one more time, and you can close your eyes. So you don't have to, right? Maybe we're just focusing on one thing. Sometimes it doesn't feel good to close our eyes. If we're able to, I invite you to give it a try. Closing our ears and our eyes. Okay. Whew. So see how that feels. See how that experience feels. It's something that can really help us focus on only that vibrating feeling, especially with our eyes and ears closed, and nothing else. So if we have any thoughts, stress, very excited, thinking about anything else, and we need to focus, it's a really good focusing breathing because it helps us to focus all of our awareness, our whole mind, our whole brain focuses just on that vibrating, tickly, humming, bumblebee breathing experience. All right, so our letter B is our two breathings, balloon and bumblebee. Okay, so we can check off those. And let's turn the page. Oops, don't do that. Okay. Circles. Our letter C, remember, you can finger trace this or draw it in the air. And you can write along with me or just follow along. So our first one for letter C is circles. Okay, circles, we can do circles of all the different parts of our body. So we can start with our neck and we can go circle one way. Okay, so be careful. Sometimes going back can hurt our neck. So I try not to go back with my circle. So if you look at my neck, I go chin to chest, ear to shoulder, and then kind of just around to the other ear. So sometimes if we go back, it can hurt our neck, and our neck might have some trouble getting our head back up. So it could be painful. So for our circles, starting at the neck, we go down, chin to chest, then ear to shoulder, and then ear to other shoulder. So our circle looks like this. And the other way. So it's ear to shoulder, to chin to chest. Ear to shoulder, other shoulder, chin to chest. Okay, so our circles starts with our neck circles. Then we get to our wrist. Can do one wrist at a time. Can do both wrists at a time. Doing just circles. Okay, you can do it with your arm, your hand open or closed. And the other way. And so maybe we'll count so we know how many we do. And we'll do 5. Okay, then we go to the elbow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, the other arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we do our shoulder. Right, so we want to be careful to not hurt our shoulders. So my circles, I'm keeping them in front, or I can hang it down. So it's a little easier also to do it facing the ground. Okay, so if you're able to lift your arm up, you can do circles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or facing the ground will be a little easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we're doing the same thing with our foot. So with our foot, we start with our ankle. Okay, and we have our ankle circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to challenge yourself, try to lift both of your feet up. You can go the same way or opposite ways. 4, 5, 4, 5. That gets your core involved. Just be careful, everything should be pain-free. Then with the knee. Okay, so be careful with our knees too. If we've had any issues with our knees before, any kind of, surgery, fracture pain, right? Then we don't want to do the circles, but nice and easy, right? Just nice little circles. Okay, so we get 5 on both knees. Then we go to our hips. Here's where it gets fun. So you can either leave your knee bent and just go in a circle, or you can lift that leg straight, go in a circle. Okay, this is a little more challenging. Try to point your toes back towards you if you're lifting your leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? If your knee is bent, then you might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. Okay, so a nice way to get a full body stretch is with our letter C circles. Next, we go to our cat-cow. Cat-cow is a breathing exercise that we can do sitting as well. So we know if we've heard of cat-cow, we usually would do it on the floor on our hands and knees, but we can do it sitting also. It's really just what we do with our body, our back. So our cow, our back arches like this and our head comes up, and our cat, we round our back and our head comes down. Okay, so now we just add some breathing. So we breathe in when we do our cow, we breathe out when we do our cat. Okay, so let's try it together. It's a really nice way to get some good air in by opening up our lungs and push that air out by curling and squeezing the space that's in there so that it really pushes that air out. So we can try 5 breaths together. So we go cow and cat. Again, cow, cat. So bringing our chin to our chest, rolling our back. And that's our cat-cow. So another breathing, stretching that upper body, and try it out on your own. Again, you don't have to do all of these always, but to try them out here, see how they feel. If you don't like it, don't have to do it. But we might like it. And if we do like it, then it's something that we know we can use, something that can be helpful. Okay. So we can cross off our circles and our cat-cow. Our last one for today is our letter D. Okay, so for D, we have 2 of them. One is our dandelion, which is also a breathing exercise. So we have a couple of exercises breathing exercises in our first few letters, our dandelion. So for D, dandelion, what we need is a piece of paper. We need some tools here. So let me show you what we're going to do. So I'm going to use my paper with the arrow on it, and we fold our piece of paper in half. And then the top of our paper, so I'll use this side. Top of our paper, if you have construction paper or paper that has colors on it, colored paper, then that's great. Otherwise, I just have plain paper. So I'm going to put colors on my paper. So the colors that we want is green and yellow to make a dandelion flower, but really you can make it any color you want. So once you see how I make it, you can make it any color you like. So I'm going to do green down on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to do yellow on top. And let me just fast forward while I color it in. All right, so I colored it in, and here's what we have, green and yellow. Okay, so we can use our scissors and cut right in the middle. So we have one side, right? You want to do this on a table. One side is green, one side is yellow. Okay, and what we're going to do is our green, we can take a pencil or a marker. It's a good way to practice some fine motor skills too. We're just going to roll it over this marker, try to tuck it in. Okay, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Once we roll it to the end, we can take a piece of tape and put just one piece of tape on here in the middle to hold it together. Okay, pull our marker out, and here's what we have for our green. Okay, then for our yellow, fold our yellow in half. Fold our yellow in half. Okay, and then we fold it this way in. Again. So if we open it, right, we want to see where the open part is. The open part is over here. So this is going to be the part that's on top. The open part is on top. Okay, so when we fold it in, then we need our scissors. And that open part, we're just going to cut some lines in. Watch your fingers, careful with your fingers. Okay, don't need too many. Even just a few lines will work. Cut it so it looks like this. Okay, just a couple of lines. All right, and now when we open this, looks like this. Okay, take our bottom here. Okay, can put a piece of tape just to hold it down in the beginning when we start. And turn it. So also a nice way, working on those fine motor skills, manipulation skills. Try to keep it tight. Okay. At the end, put one more piece of tape. All right, and then we can open it. And it becomes our dandelion flower. All right, so for our letter D, dandelion breathing, we use our dandelion flower to practice breathing. So want to let it dry if we've used some markers. We don't want to inhale the marker smell, but we use it to visualize a flower. Okay, so when we say breathe in through your nose like you're smelling a flower, it would look like this. And then blow out of your mouth like you're blowing the dandelion leaves off of a dandelion flower. Right? We can use this to blow on these leaves and right, we can actually see the leaves shaking and moving. So our dandelion breathing goes like this. Like we're smelling a flower. Sorry, so one more time, like we're smelling a flower. And like we're blowing out the dandelion leaves, the dandelion flowers. And again, smell the flower. And blow out the dandelion leaves. And one more time, smell the flower. And blow out the dandelion leaves. Okay, so our dandelion flower, dandelion breathing. It's a good way to practice our breathing. Remember, you want the markers to dry first so that you're not smelling that, because that can make us dizzy and not feel too good. So allowing it to dry, and then just using it to practice our breathing. Okay, so our letter D, dandelion breathing. And then our last one is donkey kick. Okay, donkey kick is a good exercise to get our legs working. So how does a donkey kick? A donkey kicks forward. So our donkey kick, we'll do 5 times, 5 donkey kicks. We can kick forward 1. Right? You can come down every time, 2, or you can leave your leg up, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? And our other leg, same thing. 1, can come down, 2, okay? Or you can leave your leg up, 3. But you want to go slow, controlled movement, 4 and 5. Then the most fun part, nice and easy, carefully. If it's hurting your back or your lower back, then stay with the 1 foot at a time, okay? You can use your hands to hold on to something. See if you can lift both of those legs up and kick. 1, 2, 3, if you have to come down, 4, 5, right? So we want to be careful. So with our belly, see if you can squeeze your belly in a little. So we're not using our back, we're using our core, our belly, right? We don't want to use our back, we want to use our core. So see, instead of leaning back to do it, when we're kicking, we can. But with both feet, right, you want to squeeze your belly. So it's like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, if we're just kicking upwards, that's fine too. See if you can try to get those legs to kick forward, that donkey kick. Remember, even just 1 leg at a time. So you should really feel it right in the tops of your legs, which is those quadricep muscles, right? So just a really nice way to work on those leg muscles, get some good big muscle use, and get a lot of energy out through there, okay, using our big quadricep muscles in our legs. So that's our letter D, donkey kicks, okay? So we have our letters A, B, C, D today. And then we turn to our next blank page. So for our next week or our next activity will be for our next letters after A, B, C, D. All right, so remember, please be careful, safe with all of these. I can't see what anyone is doing, so make sure you are being safe, careful. Talk to your doctor, primary care physician, healthcare provider before starting if you need to. Families, please look out for your children. Make sure everything is safe. Everything should be pain-free. These are just educational activities, okay, not meant to be taken as professional medical advice because, you really need to see the full person and everything going on in order to make any professional recommendations, okay? So it's just educational advice. Everything that you're doing is at your own risk, carefully. So please make sure that we're having fun, but we're staying safe too. All right, hope everyone enjoys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see everyone next time. Bye.